Welcome back, my friends. The new electric Cadillac Escalade will test GM's EV strategy and cash machine. General Motors on Wednesday will reveal a new all-electric version of the Cadillac Escalade. The new model will test the luxury SUV's prestige for a new era of drivers and the company's strategy to turn its most lucrative vehicles into money-making EVs. GM has called the Escalade IQ, which is expected to share little to nothing with the traditional models, the reinvention of an icon, rather than a replacement, for now. As you all probably know by now, electric cars are all the rage. I suppose that it started with Tesla and the culture of personality of Elon Musk. But then, electric cars seem to become popular even with people who don't like Elon Musk. General Motors CEO Mary Barra has announced that the company will transition to an all-electric product line. What does this mean for the future of the car industry? And, what does this mean for the future of the United States? But, before we get into all of that, please press the like button and leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos. And, before we continue, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is InnerLife.com, creator of the InnerLife STS system. InnerLife STS is a cloud mobile platform for mental health care and its integration with primary medical care. InnerLife STS is designed for assessment, data collection and analytics, documentation, and progress tracking. InnerLife STS creates and composes conceptualized narratives and builds them into professional-grade reports. These reports are designed for use by mental health professionals, primary care physicians, justice system professionals and universities and include mental health assessment reports, mental health treatment reports, and treatment progress reports. And InnerLife STS uses doctor-selected pseudonyms for all patients. So, only the doctor knows the patient identity. General Motors on Wednesday will reveal a new all-electric version of the Cadillac Escalade, testing the luxury SUV's prestige for a new era of drivers and the company's strategy to turn its most lucrative vehicles into money-making EVs. GM CEO Mary Barra and other executives have promised Wall Street that the automaker's new EVs will be profitable, targeting EV profits comparable to gas-powered models by mid-decade and annual EV revenue of $90 billion by 2030. But slower than expected electric vehicle launches, inflated raw material costs and emerging concerns about consumer acceptance have some doubting the automaker's ability to achieve the scale it needs to deliver on such targets. The all-electric Escalade IQ will be an important proof point for reassuring investors. The Escalade IQ is the first, and most important, traditional Cadillac model to be released as an EV. It's set to eventually replace the current gas and diesel-powered vehicles, unlike Cadillac's Lyriq and Celestiq EVs that represented new entries for the brand. The Escalade is one of the linchpin or capstone vehicles for GM. It is the sweet spot of their image and profitability, said Tyson Jomini, J.D. Power Vice President of Data and Analytics. It certainly defines the Cadillac brand. Beyond that, it's an extraordinarily profitable brand itself for General Motors. Cadillac plans to exclusively sell all-electric vehicles by 2030, making it GM's luxury EV brand. Investors will be watching for how, or whether, the automaker can also transfer the Escalade's lofty profit margins, estimated at upward of 30%, to the EV models. Cadillac Vice President John Roth declined to discuss Escalade profit margins but said the vehicle certainly carries its fair share of weight for the brand. Current models start from about $81,000 to $150,000 for a limited edition performance variant. The EV version is expected to be priced toward the upper end of that range. GM declined to comment on pricing ahead of the vehicle's reveal Wednesday in New York City. When you make your franchise player an EV, you send a statement to the world that in no uncertain terms, Cadillac is going all electric, Roth, who started his current position in June, told Bloomberg. The Escalade SUVs, including a larger ESV model, are among the most expensive vehicles bought by U.S. consumers. Auto Insights firm Edmunds reports the average transaction price for an Escalade was $115,500 through the first half of this year. That places it below the industry-leading Mercedes-Benz G-Class SUV at more than $202,000, but above nearly 300 other vehicles, excluding exotics such as Ferrari and Lamborghini. Sales of Escalades have grown in importance to the brand, representing upward of 30% of Cadillac's U.S. sales in recent years. GM says it has sold more than 1 million Escalades globally since the vehicle was introduced in 1998, a vast majority of which have been sold in the U.S. The introduction of Escalade gave Cadillac a flagship. Realistically, over the years, Escalade has become an icon, Michael Simcoe, GM's global design chief, told Bloomberg. It's earned and deserves its position as a true luxury vehicle and the top of the Cadillac range now. GM Chair and CEO Mary Barra addresses investors October 6, 2021 at the GM Tech Center in Warren, Michigan. GM has called the Escalade IQ, which is expected to share little to nothing with the traditional models, the reinvention of an icon, rather than a replacement, for now. The automaker plans to initially sell the new electric Escalade IQ alongside the current traditional models. Rory Harvey, who previously led Cadillac before becoming head of GM North America in June, described the strategy as a stunning proposition in terms of having the two variants that will allow the company to better juggle production with demand. The electric Escalade will be produced at a factory in Detroit alongside EV versions of the GMC Hummer, Chevrolet Silverado and Cruise Origin Shuttle. The vehicles all share GM's new Ultium vehicle platform, batteries, motors and other components. The traditional Escalade will continue to be produced at GM's Arlington assembly in Texas along with full-size SUVs from Chevrolet and GMC that share a vehicle platform and other components with the Escalade. A teaser video released by GM of the Escalade IQ appears to have more design elements similar to the automaker's Cadillac Lyriq and Cadillac Celeste than the traditional Escalade. The vehicle features an illuminated grille, vertical headlights and a potentially smoother exterior. Simcoe, who has been with GM for roughly 40 years, said the goal of the IQ was to build upon the Escalade's reputation without encroaching on the current models with internal combustion engines, ICE. The intention is to not take anything away from the ICE Escalade, and that's one of the challenges. But the Escalade carries more significance to GM than just profits. The vehicle has grown into a status symbol, highlighted in hundreds of songs, TV shows and movies for the rich, stylish and powerful. That led GM to increasingly differentiate the Escalade from its GMC and Chevrolet sibling SUVs despite largely sharing the same mechanical components. The first-generation Cadillac Escalade was produced from 1998 through 2000 by General Motors. GM regularly uses the Escalade to debut new technologies and design characteristics that then trickle down to the rest. Today, we are hearing reports from General Motors that it expects its new electric vehicle profits bigger and sooner. GM CEO Mary Barra made particular note of the significant increase in profits factors. These profits on electric vehicles are being helped in part by federal incentives. Particularly, the Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act. The new law includes money back for companies that produce electric vehicles in North America. It also incentivizes consumers and fleet customers to purchase the vehicles. It's clear these credits are going to help usher in a new era, Barra said during an investor day. The new days of technology innovation and job creation are going to achieve what was intended, Barra said during an investor day. It will be good for the American economy, she continued. It will be good for American families, she also said. And it will be good for the environment, and frankly, General Motors is well poised, Barra also noted. The electric vehicle business has been a challenge for every car maker, especially legacy automakers. This positive outlook for the economy and business paints a bright future for General Motors. Surprisingly, it comes during a period of rising interest rates, surging inflation, and fears of an impending recession. These macroeconomic factors were expected to be focus points for Wall Street analysts during the presentation in New York. General Motors is clearly bullish on its profits and plans for electric vehicles. This is mostly because of technological investments that it has made. Most importantly, a new vehicle platform called Ultium. I am skeptical that GM's electric vehicles can be sustainably profitable by 2025, said Wells Fargo analyst Colin Langan. And that is even with incentives in the Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act, Langan continued. At the last investor day, GM promised ICE-like EV margins by 2030, Langan added. Since then, battery raw material costs have dramatically spiked, Langan also said. It would be surprising if GM can still see EV profitability by 2025, Langan wrote. This rollout plan is General Motors' second chance at trying to become the mass market leader in the electric vehicle market. This is our big opportunity to get a massive adoption, said Scott Bell, Global Vice President of Chevrolet. We can absolutely catch and surpass industry leader Tesla in U.S. sales of electric vehicles by 2025, said CEO Mary Barra. Those plans include more than 1 million units of EV production capacity in China and North America, each, by that time, Barra also noted. The Chevy Bolt was first introduced to the market in December of 2016. But, sales volumes of the Chevy Bolt never exceeded 25,000. That is a long way from mainstream sales volumes like the numbers achieved by the gas-powered Equinox. The Bolt has seen mild success but was never really intended as a high-volume EV model, said Paul Waddy, analyst at Auto Pacific. General Motors has created its Ultium electric vehicle platform on which all of its crossover vehicle product line will be based until at least 2030. Car prices have skyrocketed in the last 2 years. The Federal Reserve started a series of steep interest rate hikes earlier this year because of high inflation. The plan of automakers like Tesla is to be able to build electric cars for around $25,000 that could possibly become the lowest priced car in the United States. But, what do you think? Please press the like button and leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.